Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at how to make a MORDHEIM board. This is a 3x3. If you are going to make the actual 4x4 board, you just simply buy 4 of the 2x2 sheets that I'll show later on in the video. But it turned out pretty good. I'm happy with it. And if it was strictly for MORDHEIM, I would have torn it up a lot more, like ripped out a lot of these flagstones and dirtied it up even more than what it is. But I will be using this for other fantasy scenarios, so I think this right here is good enough for what I need. If you enjoy the video, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll make some more, like how I do these risers and paint up some of this other stuff, and I make these guys by hand. And if you're interested in seeing that, let me know, and hope you enjoyed the video. Let's get started. Picked up 3 of these. They are 1 inch by 2x2, so 2x2 this way, and then they're 1 inch thick. I'm gonna have to cut this guy in half. So since it's 2 feet wide, we wanna cut it directly in half. I just measured in 12 inches on both sides, made a little notch, and then I made a straight line right there. I was gonna use the Proxxon cutter, but I figured more people will have access to a razor blade knife, so we'll just use that. All right, so I've got my cutting mat under here, underneath of this. I just got my box cutter blade here, and we're just gonna do several really thin cuts. We'll just keep doing it, just keep going through. And you're basically going deeper and deeper each time. The line doesn't have to be perfect because this will be on the outside edge. Just like that, good enough. Next, I made one of these. I just took some old brushes and some needle nose pliers and pulled all the bristles out of them. And then I took this tape is for my painting stuff. It's my house painting stuff. It's like for rough surfaces on exteriors. And it holds it all together really good. But we're gonna be stamping some cobblestones. All you do is just push it down in there and it imprints it in the foam. Okay, so here we are about 2 hours later. I did the 4 pieces. I was gonna connect these pieces, like this half and this half. I was gonna hot glue that, but I think I'm just gonna leave it modular. Everything fits good and everything looks good, so I'm just gonna leave it. But yeah, that was a lot of stamping. This is my trusty rock that I use for all my terrain. I've had this thing for years. I just rolled it, and gave it all like a nice texture. And yeah, I'm pretty happy so far. I'm gonna get out the black paint. Started getting these rolled out. This is 2 coats on these. Right there, I just watered down my paint real good. This is like a spray mixture that I usually use in the spray gun. But I just used it on here because it gets down in all these little cracks and everything. And I've got 3D printer going over here. I've been printing out a bunch of little stuff. We got a statue printing right now. And we're just waiting for this to dry. We're gonna double check everything and then get on to the next step. All of these have dried overnight. And I'm gonna start the dry brushing process. So this is just the pewter gray from Walmart. And then I'll be going over it with another dry brush of the granite gray from Walmart, just the cheap stuff. That's all you need for this kind of terrain. But I got one of these brushes. It's like the cheapest brush you can find from like Home Depot or somewhere. But yeah, I just use a towel. I put some paint onto here and then I get most of it off and I just go really fast. I just dip and then wipe most of it off on the towel, and then I'm just coming and doing this. This is going to be an old destroyed city, so it doesn't have to look that great at all. It's not a dry brush, it's more of an overbrush where you keep a bit more paint on here, but you're just going all over. The bigger the brush, probably the better. I have larger sizes, but this is about the perfect size for me. I dip it and then I just do a couple swipes on the towel because you don't want to actually be painting this. I want a lot of this black to show through. And even though I have a 3D printer, I really like the feel of this kind of terrain, like the homemade stuff for Mordheim. Enough, that's gonna dry. I'll show you what it looks like when it's dry, and it'll dry to a nice muted gray color. Then just go back, and if there's any spots that you want some more gray on there, just go over it. Well, by the time I got all 4 of these done, this is what the first one looks like. So the next step is the granite gray. And I'm just going straight with the same brush that I was dry brushing with. I just got all the paint off of it here. And then we're gonna do the same thing, but now this is going to be a dry brush. We're just hitting the edges and just really lightly just going over everything here. Start off with, just like before, I'm gonna hit all the edges. There's barely anything on here. We don't wanna go too strong with this. Again, if you do, so what? It doesn't matter. It's like I said, it's a destroyed cityscape, and just start by dragging. Don't go too deep. Don't get a bunch on here and go straight into this. Just kind of go over the top a little bit like this. Brought it over here so you can see the color a little bit more. It just adds this, I did the edges of course, but that just looks like scrapes. It looks pretty damn good. So I just finished up the last one. Got them all dry brushed. You want these natural variations. You want it to look like stuff has been dragged along this stone. That's what we're going for with Mordheim here, a creepy, grimdark place. Yeah, anything that you see, again, we're gonna wash this down, and that's gonna hide a lot. The next part is going to be optional. Well, not really optional. There's 2 ways to do it. I'm gonna be using oil to wash these, and I'll show you guys how I do that. I wash all my stuff, all my terrain these days in oil. I just learned about it the last year or so, and it just gives it that dirty, grimy, real feel. And so I'll show you how I do that. If you don't want to use oils, or you don't have oils, you can just use like a regular wash like you would find on one of the YouTube channels around here. Okay, so we're back out here in the garage. Actually, before I wash it, I'm going to add some snakebite leather. Use my airbrush. I just put them right into the airbrush. Less is more. This is really all you need. Maybe just a little bit through here. And so for the oil wash, I use these, the ivory black and the burnt umber. So I just use about that much. A little guy like that, and a little bit bigger one of the brown. Just a little turd like that of the brown. And then what I do is put them in here and kind of mix them together before I add the mineral spirits, because I find that it's less messy if I just get this mixture all whipped up before I add that stuff. And just add about like that, maybe a little more. I wish that there was exact measurements that I can give you guys, but this is just based on trial and experimentation. You're gonna have to mess with it on your own. There's no exact formula for this. Mixed up real good. I have a old t-shirt ready that I will wipe this thing with. But yeah, you just add it on. And the oil is gonna go down into the cracks, and I'll show you what it looks like when we're all done. The oil is on, and now I'm just gonna let this sit for a few minutes. Let it set up a little bit, but you can see how really cool that looks already. It's already looking like real stone. It's kind of hard doing everything one-handed, but you'll get the idea. Just gonna come in with this, and if any is left, that's totally okay. It just gives it more of a worn look. kind of see what we're looking like there. Don't forget to do your edges. Here's a side-by-side comparison with the oil wash and with no wash. If after you wipe it, it looks a little shiny, don't worry about it. You can see the comparison here. It's kind of hard to see here, but this one looks completely like a flat sheen, and this one has like a little bit of sheen to it. And that's because the mineral spirits takes a little bit of time to get those to burn off of there. You can take a hair dryer to this and that can flash dry them off, but I just let them sit. This is like completely flat. So we got all of the pieces washed. Now there's a lot more that you could do, right? Like you could tear up little flagstones all over the place. I was gonna add, you know, a water glue mix with dirt flock all over this thing. And then you could also take all the little MORDHEIM posters and have those on here in different spots. But I want to be able to use this multi-purpose. So because we don't just do the MORDHEIM scenario for Song of Blades and Heroes, I mean, as a setting, we use all sorts of settings in fantasy. So I can use this for like, if I was doing a castle setting or like an imperial city, like I can use it for all different stuff. So I don't want to limit it. I'm really about modularity for all my terrain. I don't want to limit it and have this too beat up and torn up and not be able to use it for a cityscape or something like that. And then with like the flock and dirt and stuff like that that I was going to put on it, all that is something that will tear away with time. When I'm setting my house, most of my houses and stuff are on like bases, and as you set it on there, you can try to be as gentle as you want. It's going to pull away, even if it's glued on there properly. Eventually it's going to rip away. So not going to do any of that. I had 2 days to get this board done. I did it, and this is going to be good enough. You know, I can always scatter things about and then just remove them. Like you can take certain rocks and scatter and just scatter it about for each game board if I want it to look really dirty, and then just take it off at the end. So I think I'm gonna go that route. Hope you guys have enjoyed this, and subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna be doing more stuff like this. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See ya.